In this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 ways to stay motivated when studying for a certification exam. Maybe the PMP, the CAPM, the CISSP CompT exam, it doesn't matter. Let's get started. My name is Andrew Ramdiel, and I've helped hundreds of thousands of people pass certification exams over the last 20 years. Now, me personally, I've taken over 100 exams. And people have always asked me, hey, Andrew, how do you stay motivated? How do you do that? People are amazed at that. And to me, it's a pretty normal thing. I just do it. And in this video, I'm going to give you guys 5 ways of how to stay motivated and how I do it. And if you've taken my class before, you know what these 5 ways are. If not, stay tuned because they're going to probably help you stay motivated. So let's get started. We're going to start with number 5, and then we're going to work our way up to the number 1 way to stay motivated, in my opinion. So let's get started. Number 1 is setting a realistic schedule to accomplish the certification. So what's a realistic schedule? Way too often do I hear people call me up and say, hey, Andrew, how do I pass my exam, my PMP, my CISSP? How do I pass my exam in 2 weeks? That's not realistic. Most people studying for these types of certification exam, for example, a PMP, 1 to 2 months. A CISSP, depending on your background, could be 1 week to 6 months. It just depends on your background. So you have to be realistic with your study schedule. Don't start studying after not studying anything or never knowing about the certification. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'm going to be certified in 1 week. It's not going to happen. I tell my students, especially for something like the PMP exam, hey, when you are studying, what you want to do is give yourself 60 to 100 hours for a PMP study, which means it could take some of you guys, you know the material well, you're familiar with PMBOK style terms, maybe at your job, you're doing it. Maybe it'll take you 60 hours, still 60 hours. First of all, you got to do a class for 35 hours. Then you got to do practice tests. You got to revise your notes. Some of you may repeat some of the modules or reread some chapters. This is going to add up. So set yourself some realistic time. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'm going to be certified in a week. It's probably not going to happen once again. But by setting a realistic schedule, you'll know that, you know what, I'm working towards it. Nothing demotivates you that, like, after a week you realize, I'm not ready, I'm going to fail the test. Nothing demotivates you than not studying enough and failing the damn test. So give yourself a realistic time. How do you know what the realistic time is? For PMP, I told you 60 to 100 hours. That's a realistic time, 1 to 2 months. For other certification exams, CISP, CompT, look around, talk to friends, talk to study groups, and ask them how long generally it took. You'll eventually learn of a time. Okay, way number 4. Set small goals that you can accomplish. If you don't have what's called short wins in your study schedule, you're probably going to get demotivated real fast. Now, what do I mean by short wins? Well, you see, when you're doing, and this works with not just studying, but any type of goal. When you set yourself up for goals that is unaccomplishable, like you can't accomplish that goal, and you don't accomplish something as you're prolonging, you tend to stop doing it. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's say you set a goal to read 10 chapters between Monday and Friday, but each chapter is like 20 pages. Can you actually read 200 pages and answer all the questions by Friday? Probably not, because you're working 8 hours and you got children to take care of and you travel for 2 hours every day. By the time you get home, you don't have the time. So what happens is, you basically set a goal that is not accomplishable by you, or a goal that you cannot attain. Come Friday, you get demotivated because now you're like, oh man, I didn't get to do this. And before you know it, you may give up on the certification because you feel it's something that you can't get done. When in actuality you could, but you're setting your goals too damn big. So don't do that. Tell yourself, what's realistic? If I come home, is it realistic for me to study for 30 minutes every day? If that's realistic and it takes 1 hour to read a chapter, then tell yourself I'll probably do 2 chapters a week. Yeah, the certification may take a longer time to attain, but at least you'll attain it eventually. And then when you finish it, you'll see that you're accomplishing it. Nothing motivates us like seeing progress. It's like losing weight. It's like you go and you try a diet and you realize that after the first 2 days you're not losing any weight. Well, you got to stick with the damn diet for a week. After a week or two, you realize, oh, I lost 2 pounds. Now you feel motivated. Oh, I completed 2 chapters. Now you're motivated to continuously study because you see that you're finishing the book. So something to keep in mind there. Number 3, join a group and speak to friends that has passed. So one of the things you guys know, if you join my channel, I do a study group every Tuesday night, and people come on and they tell you that this is what they studied and this is how they passed. And that really motivates people. When you hear about other people passing, you also want to pass. It keeps you going. This is one of the best things to do. Find study groups where people are just discussing the certification, and you'll see people passing and they'll tell you what they did and how long they took. And the more people you see passing, the better. Say, hey, if you're feeling demotivated, join my study group every Tuesday night, and hopefully you'll find a lot of people that pass, and hopefully that gets you motivated to keep on studying. When you see other people accomplishing the same goals that you want and you know it's accomplishable by others, you yourself are going to go out and study for that certification. So join a good study group. Now, there's a downfall. Sometimes in the study group, you may have folks that don't pass, and that's okay. I want you to keep in mind, if you see somebody fail on a certification, keep in mind that not everyone will ever pass every exam on the first try. Some of us may study less. Some of us may study a lot, but still fail the certification exam. Keep in mind that person may not be you. Statistically speaking, most people on most exams will pass on the first try. From my experience, 90% plus people pass on the first try of a PMP. If you're taking my class, it's probably even higher than that. So keep that in mind. Join a good study group. Watch people that pass. Okay, way number 2. That is, and this is something I use a lot, is rewarding myself with small rewards throughout the process and major reward at the end of the process. So what do I mean by that? Now, if you guys watch my channel, you know I'm a big beer drinker. I drink a lot of beer. And if I'm studying for a certification exam, I set goals. I set a goal like I'm going to read 2 chapters Monday through Friday, or 3 chapters, whatever it is. And I remove something from my life, something that I like to do, and I keep it until that goal is accomplished. It really motivates me to accomplish that goal. For example, I may say I'm not going to drink any beers on Monday through Friday, but if I accomplish my 2-chapter read by the end of the week, then I'm going to have 3 beers on Saturday, something like that. I am going to buy myself a big piece of carrot cake or chocolate cake on Saturday if I can finish these chapters this week. So I'm rewarding my own self. Now, it doesn't have to be big rewards. You don't have to go buy yourself a car or a house or something like that for these small attainable goals. So remember, the goal is attainable. It's not unrealistic, right? That was number 4. And you're rewarding yourself for accomplishing the goal. And then I keep a major goal. Now, if the certification is really important and it means a lot to my career, I am going to ensure that I give myself a big reward, a large reward. Maybe I buy myself an upgraded Galaxy watch that I'm wearing. Maybe I'll get myself an updated phone. I'm not going to go spend thousands of dollars, but I'll probably buy a new laptop. I like gadgets. So I'll give myself a nice big reward. And always remember that reward comes at the end when I pass the exam. Nothing motivates you more than getting some kind of reward back for when you accomplish something or do something. Okay, way number 1. What is the number 1 way to stay motivated? And now, this is something that I do. This is something that I tell my students to do. And this is write down the goal and don't forget it. Now, hear me out on this. So, here's what I do. Every time I want to accomplish a particular certification exam or a particular goal, here's what I do. I take a sheet of paper. Like I have a sheet of paper here. Well, there's a book. I write down on it. I'll write down the main objective of why I'm doing that. Now you have to say to yourself, why do I want my PMP? What was the main objective? Is it increasing your pay by 10%? Is it giving you a whole new position? Is it giving you ability to find a better job or apply to a new job? What exactly is it? Why do you want your PMP? As you go through the process of becoming certified in whatever it is, you tend to forget that end result. You tend to lose sight at the end. When you're going through a tunnel and it's a really long tunnel, you tend to forget the reason why you got in the damn tunnel in the first place, to get out on the nicer, shinier, rosier side of that tunnel. What you want to do is don't forget it. Every single day, you want to look at those goals. So what I would do is I would take a piece of paper and I would write on my paper, take a piece of paper, I'm going to write increase salary by 10%, get new job, meet new people, whatever it is that certification made you go and invest thousands of dollars to get it. Write it down. And where are you going to store it? I have it on my bedside table. So if you look at my bedside table, there's a sheet of paper right now that has 4 goals listed on it. And every morning I wake up, I look down at it because that's where the phone is. I have to see it. Then I said, okay, that's what I'm working towards. Because sometimes you get into the trenches and you forget what the hell you got in the trench for the first place. This keeps me on a daily basis motivated to accomplish whatever that goal was, in particularly that certification. This, I think, helps me the most. It helps my students the most. If you're one of my students, I tell you this all the time. Write it down, put it on, pass in your PMP. And if it's a certification exam, I tell my students to write down the weekly goal. So if by Friday you want to read 2 chapters, then finish reading 2 chapters. Just don't write down the main goals. Okay, guys, that is this video on how to stay motivated when studying for a certification exam. Let's do a quick review. What was number 5? So I'm listed right here. Number 5 is setting a realistic schedule. Don't forget, you want to make sure that whatever time frame you get to give yourself to accomplish a certification, you can actually do it in. Number 4, set small goals that you can accomplish. Don't set things that cannot be attained by you or is unrealistic. You're bound to fail and that will demotivate you. Number 3, join a group. Join a group of friends or join study groups that where you see people pass. Hopefully people are posting they pass, and by seeing people pass to motivate you. Number 2 is to reward yourself, making sure that as you go through your process of studying, you give yourself small rewards, whether it's cake every weekend or cake and beer would be good. Whether it's buying yourself something special, going out with someone or something, give yourself a good reward because you deserve it. You work hard for it. Reward yourself. Number 1, I told you already, let's write down our goals. We tend to forget, me in particular, forget why did we get in this process? Why did we invest all this money in the first place? Why did we invest this time to begin with in the first place? Guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this to help you guys pass more exams, become more certified, get a better job, make more money, and I'll see you in the next video.